By the way, whenever you're analyzing somebody, you're gonna want to watch the versus video of them, so you can see their the entire symposium of touches. Throughout the course of 90 minutes, see what positions they take up. Hopefully, as much movement off the ball as you can see as possible. Whereas with the highlight video, it's just zoomed in on their feet, and so nobody wants to see that. We're still dreaming. And Luca, this person Luca, they always make nice videos. Oh, Luca's branching out. Used to be mostly just that, I think, yeah, just that thing. Analysis, interesting. Interesting. I don't know if I want to. I like to. We're still dreaming. Graham Hansen, is she the outside forward? She good. She good. Let's see if we can see anything. I don't know. My eyes aren't at A+ analysis right now, but we'll maybe be able to. I mean, first things first, you got to understand that she is like an actual Barcelona product. Like, so a lot of the traits and qualities that came out of the 2011 or whatever Barcelona, Pep, Xavi, and Iniesta, Messi era. A lot of like the technical habits, like they were brewing. They were brewing from like Cruyff and into like a laudrup, and then just exploded with that team. So this is a player that hopefully I wrote rightly correctly assume is adores um, that period of Barcelona play and those players, and so it has a lot of those technical qualities. And you have to understand that if you look at, you can even do it like this. Look at soccer as a, if you say like some indefinite point in the future, where essentially all the best like traits and like modes of operating have already been discovered. So that say there's like a soccer endpoint where like there's nothing left, there's nothing else that can be extracted and be correct or better than what could be analyzed. So like the very best analysis fleshed out. Um, Shoot, where was I going with that? Oh, imagine you have that endpoint. Well, that 2011, 2000, that period, that Barcelona golden age, it was like a flourishment of advancement towards that point. Um, and people don't teach those habits. It's annoying. So the process is much slower than it should be. But even looking at something like the holster, for example, which is an orientation point where the ball should be in a precise point, individualized for each player, but underneath your center of gravity on the outside of your dominant foot. It's an exact location that you have to have where you have to keep control of the ball. Like it's precise. Uh, that reference, uh, the ability to dominate the ball in that reference point, that should be like uh, that when the baby pops the ball to the holster, like, but only the holster is only really exposed in like we had the flourishment of the Iniesta, which obviously then you have like Eden Hazard, Coutinho, Messi, obviously. Uh, uh, and you'll notice that these are attacking midfielders, are players that have to extract as much as possible in the least hospitable climates. So that's the space in front of the other team's back four, where time and space really condenses, is where you need to have the most precision in terms of everything, every variable. And so the holster, the frame of reference for your body to the ball, the more precise it is. Uh, uh, Actually, there's a lot of benefits. There's so many benefits. I can go over some of the basic ones. Like it's the balls. You can chop with the outside of your right. You can chop with the inside of your right. You can play pass with the location where it's at. It's uh, and this is where it should be. Like you can easily release inside the foot, outside the foot pass. So it's the most alacric position to release a pass from. So it's the fastest pass release position as well. It's the fastest cut position. So if you need to protect the ball or you need to make adjustments while you're in the ball, you can make the adjustments like that. You can release a pass like that, and the timing of the pass is everything. Like the ability to uh, create that connection, playing the pass to a player, like the timing of that connection is everything. Like especially if you're breaking the other team's back four down and you're playing that final pass, the timing of that final pass is everything. And if the ball is separated from your foot, even a foot, then you have to. It still takes time to catch back up to the ball and release it, which can throw off your timing. Or like if you're good at timing, you still get away with it, but then you won't be able to access that gap where if you needed that alacric half a second timing, you won't be able to access that if you are lazy with the precision of the ball's positioning in reference to your body. The holster's extremely important. It should be hammered home on nearly every session, and it's a brilliant metaphor or analogy too, because for kids, your holster, guns in your holster, boom, boom, boom. Where do you keep your gun? Back in your holster. Where do you keep the ball? In your holster. And then pop, pop, shoot gun, pew pew. It's easy for people to remember. But so, anyways, even so, Aitana has the most holster dominance I've seen out of any girl I've seen. Um, it's like, uh, yeah, I was keep going. But and a big reason for that is I think it's because of her idolization and adoration of Xavi and Iniesta, uh, and maybe like Laud, but it was Iniesta's idolization and adoration of Michael Laudrup that uh, provide the conditions for them to have extreme degrees of holster dominance. So that's just one concept, but it's an important one, and it's overlooked in world football. You can tell. You can tell that the people who have holster dominance have gotten it organically, at least the majority of them, through their own power analysis abilities. Other people just say keep the ball close. Meaningless. Not meaningless, but it's not precise enough. And so you should be also like you should build activities if you're coach, build activities, build drills around the holster. Passing patterns where you're receiving the ball into your holster, uh, and what you do with the first touch. Different things like you can do momentum matching passing patterns where you like it looks like you should be receiving the ball into your holster, but then you allow the ball to run across your body and then turn with it, like so you essentially have control over the ball without having the momentum matching. Suarez comes to mind as a very good momentum, and like use body aggressively around the focal point of the ball without touching the ball. So you'll do that, like you like run past the ball and turn and cut. Um, but anyways, back to Aitana, you'll notice that she has that holster dominance, and that's a variable that is in the mix of why she's the best. She's the best because of her lucidity, her ability to crunch the conceptual framework that all players have, and uh, translate that into a decision when the time comes and the pressures force you into it. Uh, puts yours crunching, 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 but the cleanliness of the crunch and like uh, breadth and the quality of the crunch. So how good are your ideas about the game? Uh, so it's not just like about how fast your brain works, about how good your brain works. Or it's not about like how fast your brain works necessarily, or how much data your brain can hold. You got to take the time to look at your own concepts, your own conceptual framework, and like actually look at it, be like, all right, like is that right? Like how often does that apply? Uh, like what does it look like in these different scenarios? Uh, uh, and build up the data, build up the data, build up the data, synthesize your concepts, and from the concepts, then you can organically solve any situation, hopefully. But it feels like when people make decisions, it almost exposes the quality of the conceptual framework that's underneath them or behind them, underneath the decisions, behind the decisions. Yeah. So Aitana's it's got the best brain, big brain. Yeah, that's fine. Wait, what? Long range header? Where'd that come from? Dang, get it, girl. It almost went in. Holy smokes. Boop. I like the map. Her map of where she's picking the ball up. 'Cause there's one game I watched that was prior to this game where she was trapped in like this dumb position. Not dumb position, like you could see how it could be advantageous in this certain setup, but um, like this is a player that needs the ball, and you can tell that. I won't go into that, but like I mean, every team is a collection of like connections and uh, players' understandings of each other as well. But like a player like Aitana, it should be uh, having a higher percentage of uh, possession. Uh, they'd be dominating teams even more than they already do. But anyways, their touch map so far, she's got a lot of freedom actually, which is cool. Boom! Easy. Go on, Aitana. Go on, Queen. Boom. Okay. Dude, the map though. She's feeling it. Server. Hmm. And I made a point before the video not to do not to do coaching on flourishing. It's not bad choice though. It's just like this though. When she's approaching, look at the movement, the stagnant movement, dude. From here to look at this. It's funny. From here, watch where all the players are. It's like somebody just picked them up, picks up the players, and then just has them all like on one stick, and then just moving the stick like this. Look at it. That means well, the defense don't have to react to anything, so I guess they can just jog back in the same positions. But the movement from everybody else is like you have a player that can play uh, like the highest threshold of passes, and you're just standing there. It's fucking dumb. I hate it. But I don't want to. It's dumb of me to. It's dumb of me to negatively analyze on a video where we're honoring birthday. Like I said, maybe just pretend I didn't say that. Oh, timing of the passes, perfect. Ooh. What? Luca. I like players that like that. See where they get like. I think being luckier is uh, an attribute. It's like where the ball just kind of jammy goes back to her. I always made that joke because one of our players I coach, she always get hit in the face all the time. So I say this because of her, because her chakras are open. It's like if your chakras are going too hard, the ball gets sucked in, like get hit in the head a lot. Uh, it can be chakra funnels. And you got to protect your chakras. Crack. Floating through the air. Good technique. Huh. Boop. That was nice. She was uncaged in that video. Her, her touch map there. Good series. A player like that though, Mohamed Salah is a good example of somebody who has realized how good they actually are, um, and then pushes the threshold of each individual situation. Two goals where everybody was like, okay, now Mohamed Salah's world class. It's because in those two situations he uh, chose the road, like the most pushy road possible. That situation's successful. Right? Most people are just connected, like they stay on the same road of like, all right, like this is what I know. Like we'll make the situation. This situation will look something similar to what we've already seen. Whereas like Muhammad Salah is a good example. It's a situation, but he sees I go for it. Uh, I can turn this relatively basic and uh, not too difficult to defend situation into a goal. Uh, and sure, it's him beating two people and then in a way that would be difficult to somewhat difficult to replicate. But like he sees, Suarez is pretty good at that too. Uh, um, yeah, seeing and going through doors that nobody can see, but the situation still would allow for. So I think for Aitana, in those situations, like she could uh, metaphorically replicate what Muhammad Salah has done, and create far more dangerous situations and be far more incisive. About incisiveness, it's a 90-minute match. You spent 89 minutes passing the ball sideways, or passing the ball possession and generating basic chances, like the ability to see the incisive options and create goal scoring opportunities, and having that. That's why Liverpool's so effective right now, is because they have Mohamed Salah, who's the best threshold pushing forward in the world, with Jurgen Klopp, who's the best threshold pushing coach in the world. I think he's a constant force of hunt for the incisive option, hunt for the incisive option. Uh, and if you get good at pushing the thresholds of incisiveness, then you'll be playing heavy metal.